This is the face of Richard Wakeling. This very unassuming looking 55-year-old became one of the United Kingdom's most wanted men. His crime organization became the subject of a huge investigation after a large shipment of narcotics was intercepted en route to its destination. The problem wasn't catching Wakeling, as they already had their man and he was set to face a judge and jury. The problem was this plucky crime lord did not intend on going quietly, and he fled before the trial. The international manhunt that followed set the media alight as the whole world had their sights on the one-legged crime lord, and the chase was on in the biggest British drug lord fugitive found on the beach. As Richard Wakeling went to collect his car from a repair shop in Bangkok, February 2023, he couldn't have expected the sight that was waiting for him. He had been living the high life for years in the sun, spending his days relaxing on the beach and taking in the nightlife. Officers from the Royal Thai Police swooped in and slapped the handcuffs on him, ending his years in the sun, and finally, the British authorities had the chance to bring their man to justice. He had gone on the run on the eve of his court day in 2018, and after an international investigation, they finally found him in the beachside town of Hua Hin. When he took his car to a Bangkok garage, police had the perfect chance to find him. Of course, he had already been convicted, and he was facing a lengthy stretch inside since the last time anyone saw him. It was the eve of his trial that his car was seen leaving his home. As you can see, it looks like he has packed a large bag. At 9:48 a.m. on Friday, January 5th, he drove off in his white Audi Q3. The car was spotted again near Heathrow. It's reported he then traveled to Glasgow by bus. Then by ferry, he traveled to Stranraer, around 90 miles southwest of Glasgow, and then to Belfast. Around a week later, his car was back at home in Essex. The problem was, Richard Wakeling wasn't with it. But why was this very average-looking British man the focal point for such an extensive manhunt? April 9, 2016, a truck is stopped by Border Patrol while trying to enter the Channel Tunnel to cross from France to the United Kingdom. Officials caught truck driver Leslie Muffet, 59, on their X-ray system at the UK border in April 2016. As the driver prepared the truck for inspection, he must have hoped the border force would not notice his extra cargo. The truck was carrying a large load of plastic drums. Border force were shocked to find each one full of illegal liquid narcotics. In fact, this haul had a street value of over $10 million. The driver claimed to be transporting furniture, but on the way he had stopped off in Ternat, Belgium. It was there he collected his sinister load and had hoped to make it through the Channel Tunnel without incident. Phone records would show that when he made his stop, there was a phone call placed and the driver was instructed to collect the illegal narcotics. According to the National Crime Agency, Richard Wakeling had been in contact with illegal suppliers in the Netherlands, where he set up the deal. He was behind the whole operation, and this wasn't the first time. In fact, police believe that he may have been behind at least another 6 similar operations before they were caught red-handed. The investigation into Richard Wakeling and his crime organization was underway, and by 2018, they had the ringleader in custody and ready to be sent to trial to answer for his crimes. But the day before he was due in court, he decided to take matters into his own hands and had no intention of going to prison. He simply went on the run and overnight became the United Kingdom's most wanted man. In his absence, the trial at Chelmsford Crown Court went ahead anyway. Police presented their evidence, and after a 12-week trial, the jury found Wakeling guilty as charged. He was given a sentence of 11 years. The other men were also convicted for conspiring to transport illegal narcotics. Leslie Muffet was given 6 years, Stuart Davidson received 8 years, and Darren Keane was sentenced to 9 years. But by 2009, their main suspect was still at large, so the National Crime Agency officially launched an appeal for help in finding Wakeling. The NCA operations manager, Paul Green, released a statement to the press saying, "Wakeling has been on the run for well over a year and knows we're still looking for him. He should also know that we will do anything in our power to bring him back to serve his sentence. I would urge him to hand himself in. Anyone helping Wakeling or actively frustrating our efforts to find him could be arrested for assisting an offender." They also released the security footage of the last time Wakeling was seen, which showed him loading his car with bags, ready to leave the country. Even with his prosthetic leg, the general public were warned not to approach him, with the NCA saying Wakeling had links to Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, Canada, Spain, and Thailand. We pursued these connections and worked with partners from all these countries to help build the intelligence picture around him. We have been supported by the public who responded to the media and Crime Watch appeals to provide intelligence, all of which has ultimately led to his capture. But more importantly, he had family connections in Thailand, and that would be where the investigating would concentrate their efforts. Richard Wakeling didn't expect when he took his car into the garage that it would end up in his arrest. Perhaps he had become complacent after 5 years, but an international operation with cooperation from several law agencies finally brought one crime kingpin back into the arms of the law. At the time of his arrest, he was carrying a passport under another name. With such a high-profile case like this, the media were there to capture the moment he was officially arrested.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to that authority. If you cannot afford that authority, one will be provided to you. Clear?
Regional Head of Investigations for NCA, Jacques Bier, released a statement in praise of the success of all involved. Wakeling's arrest was a culmination of the NCA conducting inquiries around the world to capture him. She told a frenzied media, "We pursued these connections and worked with partners from all those countries to help build the intelligence pictured around him." David Coyle, the NCA's regional manager for Thailand, also said, "I thank the prosecutors of the Attorney General's Office, the Royal Thai Police, and the Commissioner of the Central Investigations Bureau for their extensive work helping us identify and arrest Wakeling." He went on to say, "The NCA has worked relentlessly to trace Wakeling and ensure he returns to the UK to serve his prison sentence. I thank the prosecutors of the Attorney General's Office, the Royal Thai Police, and the Commissioner of the Central Investigation Bureau for their extensive work in helping us identify and arrest Wakeling." Between them, the international effort to bring Wakeling to justice had finally brought about his apprehension. David Coyle could not be more complimentary about his team and the NCA in general, and he praised all-around efforts. With our partners at home and abroad, we are committed to doing everything possible to find those who have fled justice in the UK. This is another example of an offender being caught because of the NCA's global reach and strong relationships with internal partners. At the time this video was made, Wakeling was still waiting extradition from Thailand. But with such a good relationship between the two countries, there is no doubt Richard Wakeling will be back on British soil soon. There, he will serve an 11-year sentence passed down to him 5 years earlier. Ironically, he would have only had 6 years left to serve and would have been released in around 2029, but now he won't see freedom again until at least 2034, giving this crime kingpin plenty of time to figure out his new career path and hopefully a legal one this time. This case was only made possible by the international efforts to bring one man to justice, and through perseverance, the excellent police work, and a lot of patience, they finally got their man. Not a bad stretch on the run for a man who couldn't even run at all. Let me know what you think about this case in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the world's biggest crimes.